Welcome back. We're going to continue our discussion talking about running and the benefits related to health. And joining me for this segment is Jack Wing. You're one of the persons who participates in the Route 66 Marathon. You're one of the directors.
Correct.
So before I get to your personal story, Cheryl had shared hers with us in terms of her health history and how running benefited her and how she kind of persevered through that. I want you to first tell us about Route 66, because Cheryl did mention she participated in the Route 66 Marathon, and many people may not know what it is, how it got started, what's the purpose.
Okay, this year will be the 5th running of the Route 66 Marathon. The marathon was the vision of one person, Chris Lieberman, who is the executive director of the Route 66 Marathon, ran the Chicago Marathon. And when you see Chris, he's not your typical looking runner. He's not a thin, tall guy that weighs 130 pounds. He's a little bit overweight and stuff. And he decided one day he wanted to do a marathon. So he trained for and ran the Chicago Marathon. And he was so excited when he did that, he says, why doesn't Tulsa have an event like this?
Okay.
Tulsa's a major city, we need an event like this. So he came back and he talked to a couple of friends of his, including myself, about his vision to put on a marathon in Tulsa. And so with that, we got some more people involved in it, and we come up with the idea to do the Route 66 Marathon. And every year it has grown, larger and larger. And we wanted to make it an event for everybody, not just somebody that's going to go out and run 26.2 miles. That's why we put in the 1 mile fun run, the 5K, the quarter marathon, and half marathon. So anybody can be involved in the event. You don't have to just do the marathon.
Okay, let me ask you this. You said each year it has grown. Does this marathon attract people from all over the country? Does it tend to be more regional, local?
It's from all over the country, and from foreign countries people come in. So it's a international participation.
Okay.
And last year the medals are so unique for this event. We voted the second best medal for the marathon in the country.
Oh my goodness.
So it's very unique with the Route 66 and all that. And a lot of people come in, they want to run on the old Route 66. So that's what makes this marathon so unique. And the people that are dedicated to, all the directors like myself, I mean, we just put in a lot of hours to make this a great event for everybody. But it's Chris Lieberman who had this vision.
Okay.
And it's just an incredible the way he's taken it from day one up to where we are today. Well, we're looking at, 7,000 to 8,000 people are going to participate in these events. And you're looking at a couple thousand volunteers to put this event on.
Okay, and let me ask this. Is it for all ages, or does it start at like 5 or 6 or?
Yeah, all ages to participate in like the 1 mile fun run.
Okay.
You can do that. We're not going to have some young 4 or 5-year-old kid running 26.2 miles. That's
I hope
obvious.
not.
No.
But there are activities for the wee little ones.
There are activities for everybody that wants to come out and participate, because you can come out as a parent and run the 1 mile fun run and stuff like that, or the 5K, and do these other events. And you can do it as a family event.
Okay.
You can run the quarter marathon, which is going to take place on August 7th, which is way ahead of the marathon. So you can come out and do that.
Now, is this a marathon that tends to take place every August? You mentioned this one is coming up August 7th, but does this take place in general every August?
Yeah, the marathon takes place in November.
In November,
But the quarter marathon, we're doing early to give people a heads up, hey, Route 66 Marathon's coming.
Okay.
So you can come down and you can start training now and start with a quarter marathon, which is a very unique distance. You never hear of a quarter marathon. It's basically almost a 10K, 6.2 miles.
Okay, and I will put up information at the end of the program how people can get in touch with you if they want to get more information either about this year or next year or future years to come.
Oh, it's going to go on for a long time. This event is here to stay.
Now let me ask this. Let me switch a little bit to your health history. Cheryl shared with us about her injuries and finding the tumor on her spine and different things like that, and the challenges she faced and how she has gone above that to accomplish this goal of getting active again and running and that. Share with our viewers your story in terms of your health.
All right. Like most runners, I've been running since I remember when I was 4 years old. I won my first event on 4th of July as a little kid. But I've been running all my life. And like most runners, you're going to have nagging injuries over the years, And I didn't have a real serious injury till I hit 60, And since then I had a couple knee surgeries, but it was minor knee surgeries. They just scoped it, tore the meniscus and stuff. But then last year, for the very first time, I went in and actually had heart surgery, because I had AFib. My heart was out of rhythm. Used to control it with medicine, and we couldn't do that.
Okay.
So the doctor went in and actually played a video game with my heart for 7 hours during surgery.
Played a video game,
because that's what he did,
Okay.
But I was in great shape going into the surgery. I worked right up to the day before I had the operation, and so I recovered real quick after that. In fact, a few months after that, I was in Park City, Utah, hiking and mountain biking, having a great time with my friends.
Well, let me ask this question before you go a little bit further with your health. When you talked about you've been running since the age of 4, and with the knee problems and then having the heart problems, but it was controlled by medication, sometimes people want to know, did you slow down in terms of running or activity, or were you able to continue? Because once again, people think, as I mentioned with Cheryl, sometimes if you have to start taking medication for your heart or you even have minor knee surgery, it's better not to stress things.
No.
But what did you do?
I kept running. You know, my running partner is my doctor as well. So that makes life easy for me.
Okay.
When I ran the Boston Marathon, my doctor ran with me. She was my friend. She said, if you're going, I'm going. So we ran the Boston Marathon together. No, I kept going. I kept training and doing it like I normally would do. You just have to listen to your body. I mean, the medication worked for me for like 15 years. Then all of a sudden it decided it didn't want to work anymore.
Okay.
So that's when we did this cardiac ablation. And a few months after, like I said, I was hiking and mountain biking up in Utah.
Okay.
And then last year, in around Tulsa run time, every year I go for my annual physical. When I went for it this time, she came back and my blood test showed I was anemic. And she says, that's not like you. But I noticed just before that I was slowing down a little bit and I was laboring a little bit. I used to bike as well as run. When I do the Wednesday night bike ride, I was falling way back on the hills. I couldn't stay with the group like I used to. So I knew something was wrong. So when we did my annual physical, she came back and said, you know, it says you're anemic and your protein count was high in my blood. So she sent me up to see a hematologist and we did some work and they come find out that I had cancer, you know, which shocked me, you know, and shocked. Here I just got over the heart problem. In March, I had that surgery, and now here I am in October, November time frame. They tell me I got multiple myeloma, which a few years ago, there really wasn't a cure for it. Some people were surviving, but the average person wasn't going to live long with it. But I'm very thankful that they've come up with, not a cure, but come up with some medicine and some chemo that works on people with multiple myeloma.
I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that in just a minute, but I do want to stop here and just acknowledge the fact that you're talking about going for annual physicals.
Yes.
And I may say it's a stereotype for some, not all men, but in general, men don't tend to go in for annual physicals. So even being a runner and very athletically oriented that way, having those annual physicals obviously is helping you continue to maintain that level of activity, but also you're able to catch things early.
Right. And that's the advantage of, my doctor being one of my best friends as well. I've been having a physical annual since, I think it was 1982 or 83. And I always do it right around the Tulsa run time as a reminder to do that.
Excellent.
But this early detection has definitely helped me, because if I hadn't had that and caught this cancer early, there's no telling where I would have been today.
That's true. That's true.
So I was very blessed and very fortunate to be able to do this and to have the physical. And she reminds me every year, hey, it's your physical time, Jack. But it's automatic that we reschedule it every year. And I'm just very fortunate to have a doctor that's my best friend as well.
Okay.
And she takes very good care of me.
That's
And
excellent.
last year when we discovered the cancer, it was right around Thanksgiving she called me up and said, that you have the cancer.
Okay.
We did all these tests and everything else, and we were going to start with the chemo program. She set me up with an oncologist. We were going to start with chemo on January 9th. But with this particular type cancer that I had, it actually goes into your bones as well. And I cracked the pelvic bone in my back.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there, Jack, because we're going to have to take a really quick break, and we're going to come back and pick up to some of the complications and the treatments and how or did you get back to running.
Okay. Yep.
Stay put.
Yep, I'm not going anywhere.
And you please stay put. We'll be right back.